Welcome back, everyone. For those who are watching, thank you for staying with us. We are expressing our warm welcome for our next speaker, Mr. Feja Arucevic from Bosnia and Herzegovina. He's the current CEO of Alam System, which is a security company that is active in the Adriatic region. Feja has experience working with security vendors like Fortinet, F5, and Carbon Black, which are enterprising companies from the Adriatic region. He will be talking about cybersecurity challenges for organizations today, how to prevent, prepare, and react in cases of a sudden cyber attack. Welcome, Mr. Feja, and thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Mohammed. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who are with us. As you said, today we will talk a little bit about cybersecurity. And I will try to be short and sweet, as we say, because it's already 4 o'clock and I know that a lot of people are tired, so I hope I will be interesting. Now I will try to share my screen. Welcome everyone. Today we will try to be short and interesting because I bet everyone are a little bit already tired. And we will talk about cybersecurity. And also we will talk about how really hackers think and why you and everyone today, I mean everyone, because with COVID, we saw that working from home and the digital transformation was faster than ever, should think about security. And in case of the hacker attack or incident, why you should think like a soldier. But before we go into details, let's say this, and this is a really famous already sentence in the security world, and that is, security is always too much until the day it is not enough. What this means, every time when we talk with the clients about the security and when we put some security limitations to our clients, a lot of people are not at first satisfied. Why? Because, and we also like to say the most secure bank wouldn't be successful. Why? Because we would ask from you before you take the money from ATM, first your fingerprint, then to scan your eyes and to say 3 times your name, upload, and everyone would go crazy and you would just say, I don't like this. You took my money very fast. And then when I needed it back, I have all these security clearances that I have checked. So it's always, let's say, a game, balance, how to put successful security in organizations so it doesn't affect business. And in the other hand, it affects business to be secure. Also, today is a World Day for passwords. So I hope that you have all really strong passwords or multi-factor authentications, or like me, if you cannot really remember all your different passwords, that you just use a password manager app. And I really hope that you don't have the same password for all your emails, applications, banking card, and etc. Who are we? So Alam System is, we like to say for us, we are a boutique security shop, and we are based in Sarajevo, but we also have offices in Ljubljana. So we are covering Adriatic region mostly, but we also work in Central Europe and Southeast Europe. Our vision of security, we divided our offers in 2 teams. So we have a red team and blue team. We will talk about this a little more in next minutes of this presentation. So the subject goes, think like a hacker. But before this, we all like stories, right? So everyone likes a story, or you like a movie or a TV show. And through the history of evolution of people, we all told stories. So in security, what is actually the best story that you can tell? For us, it is a no story. So best story in security is no story. Why? Because this means we didn't have a breach. Nothing happened. There wasn't any incident. Everything is safe. There is no bad PR, because when we talk about, there is a saying, there is no bad PR. Well, when we talk about cybersecurity and generally about security, we don't like PR. So we don't want to be in news that we lost all the data from our clients, or that we lost money if we are in financial industries. So we like to give always this quote to our customers and to our partners, that best security story is really no story. And when we say what do actually hackers and what they can find out about you and what are all those informations up there that are available, you can really see in this infographic what devices know about you. So all of us that are in IT, technology, or even if you're not so much, let's say, digitally advanced, you at least have a cell phone that is a smartphone or a tablet or an endpoint that you use for your work. So what did today with this, let's say, digital transformation, these devices really know a lot about you. So it's not just passwords, it's not just credit cards. Already they know what you like, they know where you are, because if you are in sports or whatever, you're probably using some kind of app to monitor your sports activities. So your GPS is on, so the devices know where you are. You're probably using your cell phone to pay your bills, or you use it for a business. So of course, phone calls, text messages. And today with the OTT apps, that it's really a lot of data you put on your phone easily, and it's a really normal for you. And a lot of us doesn't think about the security issues, what really hackers can find out about you. So all this data is up there for them. So if you are not really careful, and if you don't really, let's say, do the basic steps, security steps, then you can really easily be a victim. And as you can see from this infographic, they really, if they get to any of your endpoints, cell phones, they can know a lot about you. And we see in last few years, especially with the COVID-19 pandemic, that a lot of cyber attacks are going up. Why? Because people are more at home, they are more on internet, they are more digital, and this is a bigger playground for the hackers. So why hackers attack and how they attack, and what are those, let's say, attacks that they use against their victims? So first we have to talk about cybersecurity attacks, and then we don't really like to say, let's say, human error and the security flaws that people do. So real cybersecurity is, if you watch TV show iRobot, or if you saw movies where you see the terminal and you see a lot of code happening, and then behind that some attacks happen. So real cybersecurity is that. We saw that in near past, that big companies were really victims of cyber attacks, and that no one is safe from the big to small. So we had this famous SolarWinds incident where FireEye was one of the main targets, but basically they were a collateral victim because of the breach on SolarWinds. We also had last year Garmin, who really was stopped of their services for more than 7 days because of the ransomware that was really custom made for the Garmin. And why this happens? Usually because of the people that write code are lazy. So it's really hard for developers to make developers put some safety, let's say, procedures in the code. And that's how hackers use this, let's say, vulnerabilities to enter system. Other part of security that is really today active is human error. And we see that through phishing attacks. All of us, if you have an email, you received an email that was one type of a phishing attack, phishing scam on you. Last year, we saw with our clients a lot of phishing attacks with the COVID-19, where was the subject, let's say, in your city, it is a really like, the subject would be really bad situation with the COVID-19 in your city. The hacker would know where you live, of course, or you would be the lucky winner for the first one to get a shot for vaccine, for COVID and things like that. We saw that the hackers were using the pandemic really for attacks. So what to do when this happens? So if the hack attack happens and you didn't have your security up and running and you are a victim, so it's usually not the end of the world for you if you have a backup. If you don't have a backup, then it can be really tricky. But what to do? We talk with a lot of clients and they ask us what to do. Well, first, it's in these 6 steps. It's really easy to explain what to do if you are a victim of hack attack. First, of course, you don't panic. You don't shut down the computer, but you do immediately disconnect from every network, every internet, or whatever you have. After that, if the hackers contact you, you put down everything what happened and when was the moment that you actually realized that you were hacked. Because we see with our clients that usually it's more than 180 days they need to find out that the hacker is in their network. So let's say it like this. Think about this, that you have an intruder in your house, in your company for more than 6 months and you don't know about it. Can you just imagine what the intruder was able to see, to catch? And still, a lot of our clients aren't really aware of when you get attacked and when you get the intruder in your network. They really see everything what you see. So the level of cyber attack can be so big that really whatever you have on your computer, he was able to see it. And the 6th step in this, let's say, how to respond is call for help. There is a lot of security professionals that can help you. Our company is one of them, and it's really, we are there for those kind of incidents. But how to let's say, be one step in front of the hackers. And what we like to do, as I said in the beginning, we have our cybersecurity with the red team. So we really offer services that are penetration, vulnerability management, and email phishing campaigns. We like our culture of companies really always learn, always educate yourself, and we like to do the same with our clients. So we always push our clients to test their system, or for penetration tests, or just to test their system to check and to have all the, let's say, inline the vulnerability management and all the vulnerabilities that they have in their system, so that even if the hack happens, we know that our core systems are safe. And education, as I said earlier. So we always educate, and then we test how we did education of our clients with email phishing campaigns that we do, and then we check how actually the security system that is up and running with our clients, is it effective, and how much time we needed to get through, or actually the security services were so good that our ethical hackers weren't able to penetrate the system. Also, from the other side, that we have all these hacker attacks, and we have this red teaming. We have the other side that we work with our clients is to be prepared and to try to make their system safe as possible. But what are their struggles, and how what they first tell to us is they struggle to find insider threats. What is real critical vulnerabilities that they have, because we said they're vulnerability management. But if you ever used any scanner for vulnerability management, you will see that the software will give you hundreds and thousands of vulnerabilities. And always is the question where to start. That is one of the reasons why our company, we use actually ethical hackers with the vulnerability management systems to really tell you what are the main and critical vulnerabilities first to solve and then to go for the other ones. Also, insider threats. I talked about that the intruders can be for 6 months in the system, how to find them, what to put, what traps to put in your network that you can see some false movement or risk movement, how to use your user behavior analytics. And all this is basically a problem for a lot of clients because they don't have real adversaries. And what do we see? There is enough data. Everyone has some type of log management or CM, or there's some type of operation center that they call security operation center. They got a lot of alerts, but they are aware that they don't investigate all the alerts because we have this ongoing problem with the security professionals that there's not enough cybersecurity professionals today on the market for any company. And because of that, a lot of clients don't have really manpower to get investigation for all the alerts. But what is really important is to stay up with all the alerts, because a lot of times, because of many alerts, you can miss ones that are critical, and you don't want that. You don't want to miss the critical ones, because if you miss, then all the systems, software or procedures or whatever you did were for nothing. And how we do that? So we really like this, let's say, saying of zero trust culture. So you really have to investigate everything. Zero trust culture comes from the 0 day saying of 0 day attack. Of course, if you have a 0 day attack, then it's really, if you're not a big enterprise company, then it's really hard to defend. But if you put up the really good zero trust culture, even if you get a breach, you can find out that you had a breach, and you can very fast you can very fast put up your defense plan. And that is really important. So to have a really good procedure, because the breach will happen. And today in cybersecurity, we don't put walls around our organization anymore, because we saw that that type of security strategy is not effective. So we are more doing threat hunting. So when the breach happens, that we find out on the beginning, in an early start of the breach, so we can then do the real response and really put the security issues on that very low, so that the core data and the core system is not affected by the breach. And this is where this part of thinking like a soldier is very important. We see today that the people that come from the military school or with the military experience are very good in a blue team defense, and basically they are very good in security services and putting the security strategy in action. Why? Because during the breach, they stay calm and they follow the procedure. We also do with our clients range exercise, where we meet and then we make our ethical hackers make a, let's say, they make a cyber attack, and then we follow how our clients are playing defense. What are their reactions? How they communicate? Are they following all the compliance procedures? Especially in EU, we have a GDPR. So you have to, if you had a breach in 72 hours, you have to put official PR statement that you had a breach. What happened? What was your reaction? And during these exercises, we really see that a lot of people are really not used to it working under pressure. And we see that this military behavior is really good when you have a breach, because they stay calm, they follow the procedure, they do as it was planned. And this is the best defense that you can have in cybersecurity. What we like even more is to be, let's say, more proactive and to do threat hunting. Threat hunting is already a common word and common jargon, like to say, in cybersecurity. But in our region, we see a lot of clients are saying that they are doing threat hunting or that they would like to do threat hunting, but they're not already there. For threat hunting, you need a lot of education, of course, but you need to put your system and procedure right as it should be in the strategy and vision of real threat hunting, and being on all endpoints, checking all the logs, checking all the even flow. Because we, in our past, we saw with our clients that we had a few incidents where the hackers were successful to turn off the logging system. So you were really weren't able to find the logs, but how we found out that they were in system, it was through flow traffic. We saw that there was happening flow traffic that was not ordinary for that part of the network. And with investigation and forensics, we were able to see that there was a incident. All this is the idea to put like a pyramid to, in the end, to have the security operation center. Our company actually provides service of SOC to our clients because, as I noted before, today is really hard to find cybersecurity professionals in our area, and we see more and more clients deciding to really outsource this security operations center to our company. And here is very important to have a really good orchestration of all the services and software that you are using. You have to have all your steps right there to respond on time. Also, by Gartner, there is actually 10 security projects that all CISOs should focus on. I will not talk about all 10 of them. I will just talk about these first 3 because we see in our region in Europe that this is something that was really important in last year and also this year, because when I don't know about you guys, but when COVID started, we all thought it will be only 3 to 6 months. So we are more than a year in COVID, and it's still a lot of companies are at remote. And we see now a lot of companies are deciding, even after pandemic is finished, hopefully as soon as possible, that a lot of companies are still gonna stay with work from home, at least some kind of mix. 2 days that you, in a week, 2 days you can stay at home and 3 days be at the office. So how about security of this? Because first year we saw a lot of focus on with business was just, let's make it possible, let's make it work. We will think about security later. We don't have time now for security. We just want to be operational. We just want to be up there and working. So it was just buy a laptop if you didn't have a laptop, or change a procedure and everything. So a lot of companies made this, let's say, a step up. They made a remote workforce up and running, but a lot of them didn't really thought about cybersecurity, and we see a lot of breaches because of that beginning of this year. And I think we will see them even more. Why? Because, as I said, the bad guys, they don't rush their attacks. Why? Because really they have a lot of more resources than us. So from our company, our perspective is like this. 1 year has 365 days, and a hacker a bad guy can be successful 1 day and he won. But us, we have to win every day. So you really have to be focused on what are you doing and how are you putting your cybersecurity defense up. And we see a lot of companies, especially that didn't have a strong IT, really didn't thought about securing your remote workforce. So focus on this definitely should be. After this, next step is vulnerability management, and that's, I talked a little bit about that before. So some systems that you have in your core network have or some vulnerabilities that you're not able to patch because of some native applications or whatever. But you have to be focused on this, and you have to hide these vulnerabilities in your network, so that they are not first when the incident happens. The hackers cannot easily touch them, let's say like that. And this is where risk-based vulnerability management is really important. You really have to know in your core network what is really important for you, what is the risk, what is the vulnerability level of every system that you have. And every, let's say, security person, but not anymore just security person, all the board members have to have a report of their risk-based vulnerability management. After that, what we see with this, that kind of collapse with this securing your remote workforce, is this, now this is a really marketing thing with a lot of antivirus vendors, but that is XDR, the extended detection and response. And this is a little bit what I was talking earlier. You really now, the cybersecurity industry went one step forward, and except detection that you always was a focus of cybersecurity defense, now it's also response. So you really want to have a really strong and fast response. So if there is a, let's say, not compliant endpoint in your network, if you have a worker coming from home office, getting in the core network, and something is not compliant, it doesn't have to be a, let's say, endpoint with a breach, but something is not compliant. You really want to be here responsive. That means the endpoint will have to go in quarantine until you check all the things with what it's not compliant. And this has to be fast. And this has to be really by procedure and really successful. Why? Because that worker will not be able to get to his business objectives on time. And if there is a security alarm that is stopping him for a long time not doing his regular business, and you don't have a really good explanation why is this happening or a proof, the board members will not be happy with this type of security, and then you have another problem. Also, in the other hand, if you let everyone in and then you have a breach, an incident, then why do you have a security? So this is something that is the industry goes. Also, our strategy is to have a really this threat hunting response, so that we stay proactive and that we are really on security object on time. So basically, as I said earlier, what our company, how we do, and what are our security stories. So we worked a lot in Central Europe, Southeastern Europe. We work a lot with IBM. So we work with IBM for finance sector with a lot of banks, where we worked or on compliance projects where we were preparing them for GDPR, or we were just working on some security projects where we were trying to prevent data loss on their databases, database monitoring. Also, we worked a lot in telco industry, where we were doing projects like CM and preparation for SOC. Today, we already implemented 2 SOCs in our national bank and in our biggest telco operator, BH Telecom. Except that, of course, those basic projects with firewall management and firewall policies, network segmentations are something that we do daily for our clients. Vulnerability management is a big thing in last 2 years that we work a lot of consulting on vulnerability management, what to watch, what to patch first, how to make a procedure for patching, pen testing for mobile and banking applications for banks. And what are the focus today is to be, let's say, cybersecurity consultant for rent, that we work for a few banks and few big and 2 big companies in the region. So that would be from my side all. I will leave the info here. If there's any questions, I will be gladly to answer it. Otherwise, you have my info my info here, and you can
on the slide.
Yep.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I'm wondering myself, like, is there a day where we will have to, where we will be worry-free regarding the security or cybersecurity?
Well, I think no, until we use email. And if you can answer me when I will get rid of email, then I will say, sure, then we can be 100% safe.
It's
But
all because of the email.
well, the email, no, it's because of the human error. And until there is a human error, and really social engineering of hackers is really good. So there is, I was talking with one of the IBM executives from security department, and he's really a guru in security. So we talked about the email issues, and he goes to me, well, you know what happened to me last year? And I was like, no. So he was with the clients at some fancy restaurant, and he took out his golden credit card because he's top 5 of that brand of credit card. And the guy in the restaurant took his card and scissors and hop. So he was, of course, pissed. And he called the credit card vendor, and he was like, are you crazy? You know what happened to me and everything? And they go, yes, sir, but you are our VIP person. So we send you an email just to take a picture of your passport and social ID card, so you don't have to come here. And of course, he thought it was a phishing scam, that someone wants to take to steal his personal data. So he just deleted that, and he was like, yeah, good try. So we see there with the email communication, that is, of course, something that a lot of times saves our life, and it helps us in business communication. But the hackers get really good. I mean, I know a lot of tips and tricks. And last year, even for my birthday, our hackers, our red team, made me such a gift that they actually hacked my account on LinkedIn, because they really did a good social engineering. They found out who are our clients, who I talked to. They pretended that they are from that company. It was a new company, and I was really in a hurry. I didn't check, and they really hacked actually my account. Luckily, they weren't able to get to any business information. It was actually just some non-official personal information. Because of this whole security, I don't put everything up there that can hurt me if someone steals it. But then you see how this security is totally something that we will talk even in the future, because with the digital new ways, the cybersecurity risk is more and more.
Yeah, very interesting. And all along the way, we also got some cybersecurity safety advice from you as well. So thank you for that as well. Since it seems like there aren't any more questions. So I would like to thank you for your presentation here and for your allocated time. I would like to thank everyone who has joined us so far for this 2021 Security Summit Conference. I will encourage everyone to connect with Mr. Feja and Alim System Company, and as well as other companies through the Connect2B platform, and use the opportunity to create and develop business. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stay safe during the pandemic.
We
hope this period of time goes by quickly, and that we can resume with our normal communication.
That would be great. That would be really great. I look forward to that. Thank you for everything, and stay safe and have a good day.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Likewise. Bye-bye. All the best.